All right, let's talk about finance transformation. You hear the term all the time, right? But for top-tier CFOs, this isn't just some buzzword, it's a strategic weapon. So, in this briefing, we're going to break down what really separates a simple tech upgrade from a transformation that drives serious enterprise value. And this quote, well, it really captures the reality we're in today. Finance transformation has moved from the nice-to-have list to being an absolute strategic necessity. We're not talking about making small incremental gains here. We're talking about a fundamental shift, a shift that genuinely boosts your company's value and gives you a real competitive edge. So, our first big strategic goal is to completely redefine what the finance function is. It's time to move past that old school view of finance as just a cost center, the department that just reports on what already happened. The real objective here is to turn it into a forward-looking value driver, a true strategic partner that helps shape where the business is going. Now, when you do this right, when you take a holistic approach, the benefits are felt across the entire organization. We're talking about driving real efficiency, not just in finance, but everywhere. It's about giving your leaders the data they need to make smarter strategic calls. Ultimately, it's not just about a faster month-end close. It's about enabling smarter, quicker decisions across the board. Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts. Phase 1 is all about architecting the foundation. Think of this as the blueprint for your entire project. Everything that comes next depends on getting this right. If this foundation has cracks, believe me, the whole structure is at risk. And this is absolutely critical. The vision for your finance transformation can't exist in a vacuum. It has to be directly tied to the company's main corporate objectives. Getting this alignment right ensures that every single dollar you invest and every process you change is actually pushing the whole company toward its most important goals. Look, before you even think about new technology, standardizing your scattered processes is completely non-negotiable. This three-step approach is the way to do it. First, you map out how things work now to find all the bottlenecks. Then, you design how they should work in the future. And only then do you start pinpointing where automation can make a real impact. This creates the solid ground you need for any tech investment to actually pay off. So, with that solid foundation in place, we can move to phase 2, building the transformation engine. This is where we bring in the technology and, just as importantly, the data that fuels it to really power this thing forward. This slide is basically the before and after picture. Removing away from the chaos you see on the left, the messy processes, bad data, and endless manual reporting. The goal is what you see on the right, a proactive, insight-driven finance function that runs on smooth, standardized workflows and high-quality data you can actually trust. Let's be really clear about something. Your transformation is only as strong as your data, period. And strong data governance, that's not just some IT project. It's a critical business function. For anyone in the C-suite, this boils down to one word: trust. It's what ensures the insights coming out of finance are rock solid and reliable. You can have the most powerful engine in the world, but it's pretty useless without a skilled driver, right? That brings us to phase 3, people and partners. This is all about the human element, both your own internal team and the expert partners who can help you navigate the journey. Now, your internal team knows your company inside and out, and that's invaluable. But external experts bring something different to the table. They can seriously reduce the risk of the project, speed up your return on investment, and help you steer clear of those common, expensive mistakes, mainly because they've seen them all before. When you start looking for a partner, you're going to come across industry leaders like WNS, Deloitte, and EY. What these firms offer is deep, proven expertise in the 3 areas that matter most: redesigning complex processes, integrating technology, and, this one's huge, managing the change to make sure people actually adopt the new way of working. Finally, we've arrived at phase 4, ensuring long-term value. A transformation isn't a project with a start and an end date. It's really the beginning of a whole new way of operating. This phase is all about making sure the changes stick and that the initiative keeps delivering value for years to come. So, how do you make sure you're on track? How do you hold people accountable? You need a clear, objective way to measure success. And that's exactly what key performance indicators, or KPIs, are for. Picking the right KPIs is absolutely essential to keeping the whole effort aligned with your big picture goals. Now, this is where things get really interesting. When you consistently track metrics like how many days it takes to close the books or the error rates in your financial statements, you're not just grading past performance. You're creating a powerful feedback loop that drives ongoing optimization. It's a cycle of continuous improvement. Ultimately, this whole journey brings you to a strategic choice. It all boils down to this one question. Is your finance function going to keep reporting on the past, or is it going to help invent the future? Empowering your team to shift from looking in the rearview mirror to actually helping steer the ship, that right there is the true measure of a successful transformation.